how to replace an igniter on a pellet heater. So this assumes that your igniter's dead, whatever. This is what you do. Now it doesn't matter what brand pellet heater you've got. So if you're in the US, Australia, whatever, they're all the same. So this will give you a good idea. Alright, so step one, you've got your brand new igniter. Pretty simple. This gets hot. And on the other end, you've got two plugs that hook it in. Okay, so step two, you've got to get access to where the igniter is inside the pellet heater. The igniter sits behind the burn pot, so you need to take off the side panel of your pellet heater. Mine's held in by a screw up there, but it will depend on the brand. But the point is, you need to take off the side panel so you can get access to where the igniter is. So step three is you've got to find the igniter and get it out. Now, of course, you've turned the power off, unplugged everything here, but come down into the side of the pellet heater and you're going to see a little metal rod sticking out from behind the burn box. This is where the igniter is inside here. That's the igniter there. A little bit of this metal rod you can see sticking out, and the wires go down, and you can see, hopefully, it just plugs in up here. So what you need to do now is to loosen the screws. There usually will be, see if we can see it. I think you can just see it. There's two screws on this brand here, and probably for yours as well. You don't need to take the screws all the way out. You just need to loosen them so the igniter can slide in and out. Okay, so step four is you need to unplug and remove the igniter. So I have loosened the screws. Now if one of the screws comes out, don't stress. Now just be careful. You can see I've pulled my igniter out, and you can see up there, hopefully, we got the two pins where it's plugged in. Now you just need to unplug those. Now it won't matter which way you plug it in, so just unplug those pins and then you can remove your old igniter. Alright, so step five, you can see I've got the igniter out. Here's a new one. So you've got to get the new igniter in. Basically you just do what you did. Put it in a little metal tube. Now you don't want to slide it all in the way, and you're going to have to plug that back in to those little pins there. You can see I've got it in. So step six, you just want to make sure before you tighten it up, you want to make sure that the igniter is in sort of not too far or too little. And I'll give you an example. So if I push it all the way in like this, and you come around to the front of your pellet heater and go behind the burn pot where the igniter is, you can already see that the igniter is sticking too far out. And what I like to do here is just sort of push it back a little bit so it's just in behind the edge or the lip of that metal tube there. And also you can see that it's not exactly in the center, hopefully. That's not good. You don't want the igniter touching the edge of that metal rod there. So what you do here is you go back and you start to tighten up these screws. And look, you can probably do it by hand for now. Now you don't want to go too tight, and do it on the other side as well. And the idea is that you want to get the igniter so it's kind of in the middle of the tube, and you can do that just by sort of moving it around a little bit, like pushing on the wires there, like repositioning it and tightening it. Whoops, I just pushed it in. So the whole point is you don't want it sticking too far out, and you don't want it touching the metal tube, because then obviously that's going to impact how well it heats. And I've just tightened these by hand. If you come back around the front, hopefully we can see that now. Hopefully you can see it's looking pretty good. It's not touching any of the metal tube, and you don't want it sticking all the way out. But yeah, just look at how you've got it and adjust it so the igniter's in the tube, like back from the lip a little bit, and it's not touching the edge. But that looks pretty good to me. And then what I'll do now is I'll just get the screwdriver and I'll just tighten it. I'm not going to tighten it too much, just until it seems fine and it's good, and then just recheck at the front that everything looks good. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. It's plugged in. I got the igniter back in. So now it's time to put my side panel back on and test it out and see how we go. Alright, so I've got the side panel back on. Burn pot's back in. Let's switch it on. Probably can't see that. It says it's cleaning, and let's see if we get fire. And you can see there a glowing red hot igniter, so it looks like this is working, but still we'll wait for fire. And we have fire. Please, if you found this video, like and subscribe. And if you're in Australia, Tasmania, we've got a Facebook group. But there you go, here's the old igniter. You can see she's looking a bit used, definitely, but that's how we replace igniter and any type of pellet heater, pellet stove, doesn't matter what brand, it's all the same. And as you can see, very easy. Right, until next time, happy heating and thanks for watching.